Even as a kid in Pittsburgh, Marv Sleisenger could see the best in a bad situation.
I was the second shortest kid in the class. I always loved Dominic Ruggieri because he was the only one shorter than me.
So Marv learned early to assert himself, one of the first in his school to enter Harvard. Bummed a ride home one weekend and ended up marrying the girl he met in the car. At Cornell, Dr. Marv Sleisenger was promoted to head of gastroenterology so fast that he told his boss,
"Dr. Barr, you've got to be kidding." And he said he wasn't.
But there was tragedy, too. While delivering their first child, Lenore was paralyzed with polio. The child had a liver disease and later died. So did a second child.
The events drove us closer together, and there was great support from both families, emotional and otherwise. Without which I think you can't do it.
Marv soldiered on. He'd already done impressive research on the role of gluten in colon disorders, and now as Cornell division chief, he beefed up the teaching programs. And then came the phone call.
We go back 2/3 of a century.
From his friend Holly Smith, the chair of medicine at UCSF.
I said, "Marv, we have an opportunity in partnership in San Francisco."
I didn't think Lenore would be particularly interested in moving from New York. But she turned to me and said, "Well, who passes up a free trip to San Francisco?"
So in 1968, Marv became chief of medicine at the San Francisco VA hospital, with a huge challenge. Back then, medical education at both the VA hospital and San Francisco General was overseen by UCSF and Stanford, but Stanford had just pulled out.
The Veterans Administration Hospital was in serious disarray. They had only 4 full-time physicians in the Department of Medicine. Their investigative program was minuscule.
But instead of abandoning the VA and SF General, UCSF wanted Marv to help build a 3-hospital powerhouse.
Each hospital having a different flavor, a different kind of faculty, a different patient population, would make a training program complete. UCSF owned the town medically, and this was the chance.
With his leadership and research credentials, Marv recruited top scientists and educators, expanded VA research and the training program for residents, and improved patient care.
Well, Marv gave me this picture of himself and myself with Colin Powell. When
Diana Nickel is a longtime colleague and the VA Chief of Staff today. How did Marv do it?
He had done what he was asking people to do. He was fearless. He would always stand up for what he thought was the right thing.
And he could knit together a team of people with a joint purpose. That's the element of leadership.
He actually was a lightweight boxer. So I always like to think of him as the 135-pound lightweight boxer who became a heavyweight throughout his career.
Today, the San Francisco VA Medical Center is a powerful part of UCSF. Its research budget increased 100-fold, and hundreds of physicians serving 300,000 veterans.
It is the #1 academic medical center in the VA.
A distinguished institution for which we'll be forever grateful to him personally and on the part of the University of California, San Francisco.
It's a first-rate medical center. It's got first-rate people. It delivers what it's promised. That's what I'm most proud of.
His beloved Lenore lived long enough to see it happen.
She was as good and as smart and as wise as she was beautiful.
And Marv soldiers on, still devoted to his VA, where grateful colleagues gave him the ultimate title, the Chief. He overcame so much to give us so much.